Welcome back to another video
What up,
podcast.
people? Hello, people. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Why are you laughing like that? Already? Nothing's happened yet.
I don't know. Okay, so welcome back to another podcast. We are on episode number 18, you guys. Number 18.
Number 18?
Yes,
Really?
sir.
Shit.
So we are Los First Gen, and I am one of your hosts, Thalia.
You are Thalia.
And you are.
And I am Aaron.
And we are here on this earth.
We are here. Somewhat.
One of us.
What the fuck? One of us is here.
Okay, so let's get into it, you guys. First of all, my dog, for the very first time, just pressed the button. I don't know if you've seen on TikTok or whatever, but they have these buttons where they like put words on them and they click them and then it says the words. So they're asking for something. So we've been trying to get them to learn how to ask for water with pushing the button, and they haven't done it. I think it's been like months, no?
Yeah, like maybe 2.
Like 2 months, and we'll show them like, here, press this, and they're like, oh, we don't give a fuck. And right now we're getting ready to start filming, and I just hear the button and I go look, and who said you can't teach old dogs new tricks? So they be lying. My baby is 11 years old and she's the smartest of them 3, and she pressed the water and they had 0 water, so it wasn't an accident.
She said
water. And it's my voice, so I'm like,
water.
how am I talking from over there?
That's funny.
Okay, so I think it's just like placebo.
Yeah.
So what are we drinking? You want to tell them?
Oh, drink of the day. So I'm having mango sparkling water, LaCroix, some lime, some ice, some grapefruit juice, like a splash,
Juice.
and liquid gardening.
Yeah. It's called Nowadays. If you want to know what it is, go look it up, because we're not going to really talk about it, but
Look it up. Apparently it's a TikTok thing.
yeah, I saw it on TikTok. It's the very first time, and I'm not into the gardening period because it freaks me out, but I was like, I need to try this, especially because it's like micro dose, so it's very small amounts. And we took a half a shot before we got in here, so if you know, you know. It's not alcohol, by the way, so I'm not cheating.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right.
So what do you have for us today?
Well, let's get into our week first of all.
Oh yeah, go for it.
How
was your
week been?
This week we are not celebrating another. This week we are celebrating another week of being together, because we always celebrate another week of being together.
Why did you start with we're not, though?
Trying to see if you're paying attention to me.
I always pay attention. I mean, it's always a freaking busy week, but what had happened is Baloo got his second chemo this week, so everything was good there. His blood work was all good, and he got his second session. They lowered his dosage of chemo, so he's thriving right now. It's like nothing happened. He's just super extra hungry, and he cries, every 4 hours? He's like, I'm hungry again. I'm hungry again. And we can't do it because then he's going to get really fat. So it's the steroid that's making him really hungry. But
I've been feeding him extra.
I know, I give him a little bit extra too. Okay, so that's for our dogs. And then
so how's your week?
My week. Oh, I actually was that this week? I had my ultrasound and my x-ray. My ultrasound of my stomach, and everything came back good. Everything showed normal. So basically they did an ultrasound of all my organs in my stomach. They checked for stones because I was having that stomach pain that I told y'all about before. I don't want to bore y'all with that. But everything came out good. So they just told me to keep taking the pills that I'm taking. And then if the pain continues, then she'll probably refer me to another doctor or something. But we think we know what the pain is. So I'm just staying away from the specific foods that I think are causing it. So let's hope that gets better. And then my x-ray came back normal because obviously my bone is not broken. So I asked her if she can refer me to an ortho doctor. So she did refer me. So now I'm just waiting for them to call me.
Good, yeah. Long overdue. Same for me. My knees are terrible. Shot.
Yeah, I think yours are probably worse than mine.
Fucking terrible. My knees are like 80 years old.
Yeah, and his knees sucks because they're like in constant. They're in constant pain, while mine is only in pain when I do certain things, and for his it kind of sucks. Cause
I mean, constant pain as of recently.
Yeah.
But other than that, they hurt just due to activity.
Yeah, when we walk, they hurt him, which we walk every day, so that's not fun.
It's probably just my shoes suck as well.
I know, and I told him we need to go get
my shoes expired or some shit. I don't know. Fucking flat feet problems.
We should get you new shoes this weekend.
Yeah, we should.
Try to make
good idea.
Time.
I love that. Work sucked all week, but I'm blessed. Forever fortunate. Not fortunate. Or yes, fortunate. But that's not what I meant to say. What did I mean to say? Forever grateful that I get to work from home. Because sometimes I go out and get coffee.
And food.
And damn, traffic fucking sucks.
I don't work from home 24/7, but probably like 90% of the time or something. And yeah, it sucks to travel to work. So we are definitely blessed. And I've been telling Babe to be more positive because he's just a cranky, grumpy old man.
You think I'm going to be a...
You already are. So you qualify as a grumpy old man.
You think I'm going to be a cranky old man?
You are already. Bruh, he be cranky about anything and everything.
I'll be getting cranky.
Woo! We have a giveaway winner, and the giveaway winner is at MS Lace 2009. Congratulations!
MS Lace, congrats on your giveaway.
So Miss Lace 2009 won $50 giveaway. Congratulations! We will send you that. We'll probably send it to you before you even see this announcement. But we did want to announce it on here so people know that we did do the giveaway, not just fucking talking about it and not doing it. So anywho, we can move on to our quote of the week. Let's get it out of the way, because I bet you it's going to be some kumbaya shit again.
Kumbaya, she said. Kumbaya, she said.
All right. We are on April 12th, correct? Is it April 12th?
Today is Friday, you guys. It's April 19th.
What the fuck?
Damn.
I was about to read the same one. It's because I usually tear them out and I forgot to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so April 19th, Friday. All these awards have been great honors. I think the greatest reward I have is getting up and going to work each day. I love what I do. Oscar de la Renta, fashion designer. So I think these are getting pretty repetitive.
Yeah, let's throw it away, guys. I don't recommend buying this thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's other quotes like during the week as si pegan, but I think this thing that says, I think the greatest reward I have is getting up and going to work each day. I love what I do. I think that not everyone loves what they do, and that's just part of life.
That is fucking life.
I'm all grumpy because I don't love what I do. Just throwing shade at everyone.
I mean, it's really hard to love what you do.
And it's like loving what you do by job, right? Because obviously outside of work, we love life, but it's like the work aspect. We don't love it. We're fortunate that we do what we do, right? That we're able to work from home and do certain things, but we would still just try to find something. I feel like we've said this before and I don't want to be super repetitive, but just try to find something in your life that you do love, whether that's a hobby, whether that's spending time with family, whether that's going to eat, like something that you look forward to at least once a week, because life can get pretty fucking repetitive. And
yeah, I mean, life is just work.
And then we die.
Fucking work. Is it work to live? Don't work to live, live to work. No, that's the other way around.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Don't live to work. Work to live. Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Always try to do stuff that you love to do. And I know some people are like, oh, well, I can't or whatever. But just anything, like going to the fucking parque, just appreciate the little things because life is too fucking short.
Enjoy your fucking life. Read a book. Go to a park. Take a walk. You know, whatever you enjoy doing. Play video games.
Take a yoga class. Trust they're really like, it's really nice afterwards after you do it. Maybe not in the moment, but after you do it, like you feel so much at peace and stuff. So just find something that you love and do that shit.
Yeah, go out and do some random shit for no reason. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your bubble.
Yeah, which I need to go back to pole. So I don't know what it is, but since Baloo started his chemo, I feel that he's been like extra HORNY.
Tiene la calentura.
Yeah, anda de calenturiento, guys.
Yeah, he has a fever.
Moving on, you were saying that we're watching Hunger Games again?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
So good.
Yeah, they're so good. We hadn't watched them since like they came out. And so we watched the very first one and I was crying, of course, with Rue and then like, Peter! Peter! That's all you hear the entire fucking movies. We finished the third one yesterday.
Katniss.
Yeah. Let's talk about Katniss on Hunger Games. This is really old, but we also rewatched them because they just put them on Netflix. They used to not be on Netflix, so they were like promoting them. But how about how Katniss is all like in love with Gale, but whenever like, and Peter really fucks with her, he really likes her and le da como false hope, and I'm like, girl.
So do you think her and Homeboy were a thing before she volunteered as tribute? Homeboy is
Gale. I don't think they.
That's his name?
Yeah, his name's Gale.
Okay.
I don't think they ever were like a thing, and that's only because I literally got the first book and I never freaking read it. I should have read it, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I like in like a few, probably like short to when the first one came out. I got the book and I never fucking read it. Anywho, I don't think that they were a thing because I think they would have made that a thing. Like they would have shown like them making out more, or them being more like cariñosos, if you know what I mean. So I don't think they were ever like officially a thing. They just like fucked with each other, in my opinion.
I thought they were a thing.
No, it never. Like the first time that she kissed him was when he was like her, remember?
I guess the first time that it showed them kiss?
Yeah, and so like if it was normal, it would just be like normal, like, oh, bye, I'm leaving. Mwah. Even when they said goodbye when she was going to the Hunger Games for the very first time, they didn't kiss.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my opinion. So I just feel like that she liked him and that he liked her, but I don't know why they never made it a thing. And then she went into the games knowing that she liked Gale, but she had to play this part with Peeta. But Peeta actually really liked her, and I just didn't like that. I felt like she was like kind of taking advantage of him. Nomás usándolo whenever she needed him.
Yeah, like pick one. What is this fucking Vampire Diaries?
Okay, so anywho, I don't know that I'm gonna keep all this Hunger Game talk because this is a really old fucking movie. But let us know what y'all think about Katniss and Peeta. Peeta. We're going to go into the topic, which isn't a super fun topic, but I think it is worth talking about. And that is credit cards. Just before we get started, we are not financial advisors, you guys. So we are just relaying what we know and what we've been through. And that's it. That's all you got to know. So if you do something that we said, we didn't tell you to do it. This is our experience.
That's right.
So I think when it comes to credit cards and a Mexican household, or maybe my personal one, my parents came over here, right? And this is why we're Los First Gen, and they didn't know nothing about credit or credit cards. So their advice was very limited and they didn't really know what credit was. So what I'm trying to say is that my mom, I remember going to Victoria's Secret and they offered me a credit card, and my mom told me to get it because she said that I needed to build my credit. And I was like, okay, cool.
How old are you?
I was 18 years old.
Okay.
And I remember it was a Victoria's Secret at the San Marcos outlets because from Texas, because I went to Texas State, and so we were like shopping for school stuff, and we were there in the store, and she told me, she was like, yeah, you should start building it. And I was like, okay, cool. So that was my first retail credit card, and then I had another credit card through my school, because everybody at all the fucking banks are at the schools. They be trying to offer you shit because they know we irresponsible. And I got my first, it was like a big girl credit card, I can say, because that one was like $1,000, which was crazy to me, that I had $1,000 in a credit card cuando yo no tenía nada de dinero.
And that was the first one. That was your first limit.
1,000, and then the Victoria's Secret one I think had like $300 or something.
So like prior to that, what did you know about credit cards?
Oh, I didn't know anything about credit cards. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like literally zero knowledge. Nobody told me anything about credit cards. No one at school. Like,
I didn't really know about it either. I remember, I think I was must have been middle school, and I wanted a computer. I wanted one. And my dad took me. We went to Walmart and we got a computer. It was like an E-machines. Fucking old. I don't think they're around anymore.
I don't even know what that is.
It had a big E on it. Anyway, I pulled up to the checkout and he paid with the little card. I was like, you're not even paying for it with money. And I thought, I don't know, at that time I thought it was like free or some shit.
But when he was paying with the card, was it a debit card or was it a credit card?
Credit card. And I remember
he's like, no need to explain.
I remember a few years later, he had made a comment about like, I'm still paying for your computer. And I was like, at that time I kind of already knew, and I was like,
that's crazy. And you know what's funny is that I actually don't remember ever seeing my parents use cards when I was young. They always had cash. They never used cards because that was like the evil thing. That's one thing I remember, is banks were kind of like evil. People made them out to look evil with all the bank problems. I think that people didn't have a lot of trust in banks. So like the older generation. So my parents never kept money in the bank at the beginning. Now they're doing what everyone's doing. But back in the day, it was just cashola. So I don't think I ever saw a card until my high school year, when I worked and I got like a debit card. But I didn't know that there was credit cards. I just knew debit cards. So yeah, that's a little bit about the backstory of what we knew about credit cards, which is crazy because, I mean, it may be similar. It might not just be like a Mexican thing. It might actually be like across races, just because of like the people not having faith in the bank. Because I don't think it's just Mexicans. I think other people also felt the same way. And so back to credit cards. So obviously your credit score is very important, which was something that me and you didn't even think about at the very beginning of our relationship. Do you want to tell them about your first credit card that you had?
Showed up to the bank one day, probably depositing a check or cashing out a check or something. They offered to apply for credit cards that have really good odds, and they're like, yeah, they gave me the whole spiel. Yeah, it's time to build your credit, you know. They'll always get you like that, especially if you don't know shit about them. So I was like, you know what, sure, why not? And by then I knew like a little bit about them. Yeah, I applied. I got $1,200 credit. I was like, cool, I'm just not ever gonna use it. Cards are evil. I think that was around the time we started dating. And then we started dating, and then I lost my job. Yeah.
But he lost his job.
Lost my job, but I still had reserves, so I was good. But you know, we were going out, so I was taking her out for pizza, some McDonald's, some Jack in the Box,
all the fast food,
the value menus,
all the luxury items.
Back when they had a $1 menu.
You wouldn't get me dollar stuff. No, you were getting me a full fucking meal.
The fancy stuff. Dang, I was going all out.
Yeah, and he was paying, and I never in my mind thought that he was paying with a credit card. Like, I knew that he didn't have a job because obviously he wouldn't keep that from me, even at the beginning of our relationship. But he never told me, oh, I don't have money and I'm using a credit card. So I just assumed que tenía reservas, like you had reserves, you know, and you just had save some money from your old job or something. I never thought you were using a credit card.
Our dates were expensive though.
They weren't cheap.
No, they weren't cheap, but I remember just like we would go bowling, and bowling was expensive.
Yeah,
the
early
bowling
on.
food was expensive. I remember one time we went to Six Flags. Did Six Flags, we did games, we ate out. That day was like $400 a day.
You remember that?
Yeah, and I thought it was just she's gonna ask me like, bruh, you got money. I was gonna be
That's so crazy. And how did I not think to ask you
like
anything?
my credit limit, my balance shot up so fast.
He was trying to impress me, you guys.
But not even that. I was trying to survive, and also gas and just
Well,
food to survive.
why would you pay for me then if you didn't have money?
Because I had to.
But you could have said, babe, like, you got this, or...
I could have said that. You got me, girl.
Well, I think we were both in the same page because I didn't have a job.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it was our date, and then it was also just me living life because I had to eat.
You're normal.
Yeah.
So basically, that is his first credit card, whatever. And with me, I actually, when I got those 2 cards, I don't think I used the Victoria's Secret that same day. I think they let me use it. And I was like, okay, I'll use that. And then for the other card, I didn't use that card until much later. But basically, when I was going to school, I would get financial aid, right? So the first year that I was in school, I didn't have a job. So I had no money except for like the financial aid that I pulled back. So I still didn't use the credit card. Really, I just used that little bit of money. And then it was until I think my second year. I finally got my second year in school. So I was about 19, 20. I was like 20 years old. So I got my first like bigger girl job. It was just at a call center. And that's when I started using my credit cards because now I had money to be able to pay like the monthly payment. And I don't even know how it started. Like, I don't remember, besides the Victoria's Secret credit card, me getting that. I think that's what sparked it because I was like, oh shit, I got approved for that. And then I was like, oh, I don't have to pay this off immediately. Like, that's crazy. So then I started with the Victoria's Secret, and then I had that other Wells Fargo credit card. It just escalated very quickly. It kind of like got out of my hands because I would go to every fucking store that they had. Any store that you can think of that offers you a credit card, what would I say is yes, ma'am.
You're like,
give me that
save
credit card.
25%.
Yes, you guys. At every store, they're going to offer you a credit card, and they're going to say, we have a deal where if you get a credit card, you get a % off. And when you are trying to save a buck because I didn't have money, like nada, I was like, yes, ma'am, I need a discount.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how they would reel you in. And then in that moment, yeah, I would sign up with a card and they would ask you, like, do you want to use your credit card? And most of the time I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's use it. They'd give you like a little temporary, like, scan thing. So they would scan it and then open the credit card. And so that's when it first started. So I just started getting a fucking card at any store that you can think of. I would fucking get it. And then I would start... It just got away from me because I started living way above my means.
Yeah, I don't think you ever thought about the actual balance. You were just like, can I afford the payment?
Yeah, I literally just thought about the minimum payment. And one thing I will tell you guys is that I never missed a payment. Even if it was a minimum payment, I never missed a payment because I think by then I already knew that if I missed a payment, that was really bad on your credit. I guess maybe I started like looking into things after I was already like too far gone. But I racked up quite a fucking balance.
You know what you would do? You would buy gifts every time, all the time. You would buy gifts for people and not just like your immediate family. You'd buy gifts for a lot of people during holidays, birthdays.
So yeah, I would buy gifts for mainly my family, like my immediates. And then I feel like I don't remember getting gifts for like my entire family, like you said.
No?
No. I would get my actual like immediate family. I would get them big, expensive gifts, but I wouldn't get. Yeah. So I remember the first year, something that I was really like getting into them credit cards. I got my mom, I think I've got her like 2 Michael Kors purse.
Yeah.
And I did not have the money to be spending like that, you guys, like at all. And I also got me a few of them, which this was like back in the day, you guys, like hace fucking like 9 years ago at least or more. So this was, I don't even know that luxury bags were a thing back then. Maybe they might have been, because why was I buying it? But yeah, I think that's where it racked up the most, was those bags, because they were like 1,000 or something.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like,
oh no, they were not 1,000. They're like 300.
They're like
500.
2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I was all into it, but it's been how many years since I bought something luxury like that?
Been a really long time. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm glad that I got over that, because I was really into it for like maybe like a year or two, and then I was like done forever.
Yeah. I think as a guy, I probably just didn't understand it even more, but I just didn't get it. I was like, why are girls into these expensive bags?
Yeah, and I'm not into them anymore like that. Not even like Louis Vuitton or anything like that. I know that I could save up for one and get one, but the thought of me carrying a really expensive bag out there doesn't sound like, I wear like the cheapest fucking Shein bags and I'm happy as long as they look cute. One thing is, I don't want people to like try to like steal it because it's really expensive, but 2, I find it kind of pointless now. I can see a Michael Kors purse from right here. Actually, 2 of them.
I'm gonna burn them.
I've had them forever. Yeah, so that's kind of where it racked up, would be like Christmas gifts and birthday gifts. That's where I would spend my money. I think like the first 2 years I got them that, and then after that I started like watching my money, and I would get them smaller gifts. I'm sure they're like really...
So you're just spending, you're just swiping.
Yeah, I was like, and I would look at my phone, I would pull up the all my apps, because I had like 30,000 apps of all the cards that I had. And I'm like, can I afford this? And I would like calculate it. And I'm like, yes, I can. I can afford the minimum payment. And just, if you've never had a credit card before, you know this, but as your balance increases with the credit card, so does your minimum payment.
Mm-hmm.
It was a small increment effect. And then there was like the holidays would be like a huge jump in my credit card. And then throughout the year, I wouldn't go too crazy. It was just like holidays and birthdays where I would fucking blow money. Yeah, it kind of got out of my hands.
So you would only do the minimum payments?
Oh yeah, I would only do the minimum payments, because why do I have to pay more than that?
So then your balance was like never near zero?
Bro, no. It like, I felt like it never went down.
Like it would never go down?
Yeah.
Just up?
Yeah, just up, up, up. So I never asked him for money, because I was like, this is my shit. I'm not going to ask him for money.
I mean, I didn't have money either.
Yeah. We were like barely starting out. So we was broke people. And just to, I think I mentioned this before, but when I got out of college, like I didn't like apply for an internship beforehand, which is the smart thing to do. I went straight for like trying to get like a corporate job, and I just applied, and I applied at many spots, but I didn't get into a lot. Like I didn't get many interviews. And so the one that I got in was like the lowest pay possible, at least for someone who's coming out with a degree. I feel like I should have been paid a lot more. But I started at the very bottom at that job. So I was not making a lot of money, you guys, but as my pay would increase, then so would my transactions. And by above my means, right? Like it wasn't, oh, your credit card balance is 300 and you pay it off every month. No, it was just like constantly growing, and it was like everywhere at every fucking store. And then I think I had 2 or 3 just regular credit cards. And I do remember it getting like a little bit away from me. There was like one time that I was like, bruh, like, I don't know how to pay this thing off. And then I saw like that you could transfer a balance to another card. And that was like a hack that I thought I did right. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so like smart. I fucking transferred this balance over here. Well, I mean, nothing happened besides me transferring, and I was interest free for a little bit, but still, it wasn't great. So,
but they would still charge you a transfer fee.
Probably. I don't fucking remember.
You pay a transfer fee, but then you get the intro 0% for.
So I did that a couple of times, and then I would just do my regular minimum payment. And I don't think I ever thought about changing that minimum payment. I just wasn't around people who were like talking about credit cards. Like people generally, like just in general, when you hang out with like colleagues and stuff at work, you don't talk about, oh, you have a credit card here. Like it's just not a thing that comes up. People are very private about those types of things. I think, especially like your credit score, nobody's talking about, oh, what's your credit score? You know, it's like something that you don't mention. I mean, I don't think that it's like a crazy thing to talk about, like controversial, but maybe if someone doesn't have a good credit score, they don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
So basically my balance grew from like 2011 until like 2015. So imagine that, fucking 4 years of credit cards, of every little credit card that I could get. And I would get approved for stuff because I was really good in my monthly payments. And as my salary was going up, well, obviously they look at your income as well. I was never denied for a credit card, so that's good. Because at that point, it would have been like, bruh, what's going? Like, you're doing something really wrong. Like, I probably would have fucked up my credit so bad that nobody would accept me. So the one thing about it that I think when I got Credit Karma, If you don't know what Credit Karma is, it basically tells you your credit score, and then it tells you how many accounts you have and basically all your debt. It'll put it into great detail in there. And so I think I got Credit Karma, and I started realizing that it would say like, oh, your credit utilization is really high. Like credit card to
balance. Yeah,
because they like to give you like a good percentage. Like if you have this percentage, I forget what it is, but if it's this or under, then you're like good.
30, like, I think.
Yeah, and so all my credit cards were above that 30%. And so I was like, bro, I'm not supposed to do this. And then again, it was just a thing that I was like, you know what? Like I'll eventually pay them off. I'll eventually get paid better at work and then be able to pay them off or whatever. But as your salary increases, instead of paying off when you're dumb like me, instead of paying those things off, my expenses would just go up.
I think you were all over the place, like making a minimum payment here.
Yeah.
Here.
And then the one big thing that I did, which wasn't great, but I was kind of trying to get out of it at this point. I think it was in 2015 or 2016. I was like, bro, I'm done. Like, I've been too crazy with this. And the reason that I also did that was because I got a Dave Ramsey book. Somebody lent it to me at work. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And you read it, and I don't even think I read the whole thing. I think I read part of it. I'm not sure. But I was like, bruh, I'm not supposed to have these credit cards because obviously if you know who Dave Ramsey is, he's very like no debt. Like all debt is bad debt. And if you see him, he be on TikTok and he's mean to people. He's a mean man. He's like, oh my God, this much debt? Are you stupid? Like he talks to people like really ugly. And I'm like, chill the fuck out. But basically his thing is no debt. And so when I read this, I'm like, bro, I'm not supposed to have debt. Then I did a balance not a balance transfer. It was like a consolidation, but it was like a loan consolidation. And by this time that I did this, did I even tell you that I did that?
Yeah.
Okay. But like after I did it, right?
No, I think I asked you to. Yeah. No, I don't think. I think you just told me that you were going to.
Yeah. Okay. So this is prior to us being married. So we hadn't like lumped in our financials or anything. We were each doing our own thing. We had no idea what was going on with each other's finances except for what we got paid. So then basically when I did that to pay off all the credit cards, it was like $10,000 basically. In credit card debt, you guys. $10,000. $10,000. I was probably getting paid like $18 an hour or something, I think. Between $16 to $18 an hour. I was a bookkeeper, so wasn't getting paid a lot. And Imagine that. What is that? Let's say I was getting paid the lower end.
That's a car.
14.
Back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a
14
not
times.
a bad used car.
I was getting paid $29,000 a year to $37K a year. So imagine between 29 to 37K a year, and then to have 10K in debt. You guys, that is like a third, if not more, of my salary. That is freaking insane. More than a third of my salary, which is crazy insane to have on credit cards that was used for just like random fucking shit. I literally had nothing to show for that $10,000 except for fucking 2 Michael Kors purse that I have in here, and I haven't gotten rid of them because it's probably like a sign to me, like, bruh, what the fuck is wrong?
There you go.
What the fuck was wrong with you?
$5,000 bags.
They were not. No.
I'm just
to me, that's what they're worth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the idea was just like, oh, we're gonna get good jobs later, so I think that was the rationale.
Yeah.
Me, where was I with credit cards?
You were good.
Right?
Yeah, you paid yours off, and
so I think it was just my early ons with credit history that messed me up. Either I missed a payment for sure. I don't know if I forgot or if I just didn't have the money. Don't recall. But I've did that like 2 or 3 times in a row. So after the third month, they just like close out your account and then they send it to collections. And so that fucked up my credit. I didn't mean to do that. Like, I was pretty stressed out.
So did you already know that by getting closed out, that's something bad? Like, it was affecting your credit?
Not until after it was closed out, yeah. Like, I did the whole Credit Karma thing and I was like, fuck, like collections.
Dang, you did that early on. I didn't get Credit Karma until later. Yeah, I think that scared you enough that you're like, I'm out.
Yeah, it took. And so I was just always cash or credit or whatever. I mean, not credit, debit, like whatever I had in my account.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew what you were doing, racking it up.
Yeah, but what did you think? Like, you never told me don't do that.
I mean, I thought a fuck ton of credit cards. And then you would come home and you'd have like 2 new credit cards. Like, dang. That's crazy. I was like, I don't know. Deal with that later.
Yeah, but he would never tell me anything. And it's also, you guys, because I don't think we grew up, I think you can agree with this. Like, I didn't grow up with my parents talking about specific like money stuff in front of me, or like just like advice about what to do with your money and stuff. So I had no idea. So for us, I don't even know how we started. I know how we started talking about money, but when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, I feel like neither of us thought that we had a say in each other's money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there is no way I could tell you, stop getting credit cards or stop spending money, this stuff, because I didn't feel like I was, like, that was my place.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think about now, because I'm like, why wouldn't you tell me?
Well, because also I didn't know shit either, like, not that much.
Yeah.
We were both like still growing up and learning.
Yeah, we definitely learned. So I think that Dave Ramsey book is what kind of opened my eyes to things, which I didn't even really read it, but I don't know, one of my coworkers gave it to me, so I am assuming we were talking about credit cards. I don't remember who or what, but I probably told them something like, oh, I have a shit ton of debt, and they're like, girl, you need to read this book. So they lent me the book, and I read part of it. I read like enough for it to be like, bruh, I'm fucking up. And I think by this time, were we engaged already, or we were married? No? Or no? Oh no, I think we're engaged.
It was like very close to both.
Okay.
Yeah, engaged or married, one of those.
Okay.
So yeah, I ended up reading the David Ramsey book because she recommended it, and so I checked it out.
I think you read it before me, no?
Oh, I may have.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I would always, every fucking day, I'd look into real estate, and I want to get into real estate, and I want to invest, and I want to be financially literate and free. Yes, that was the goal. And at that time, I never really had that opening with you.
Yeah, which is crazy to me because we didn't have any teachings of this. Like, nobody told me and him, like, before you get married, you need to talk about these things. Like, we kind of just, I don't know what brought it up. I think you initiated, or I did not initiate it. It was you. It was more about, like, the money situation because I think the only thing that I knew is that everybody always says that one of, like, the number one thing that ends a divorce is money, like, just money.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I think that's why we talked about it, because I was like, bro, we're about to get married and we can't.
Yeah, we were about to get married, and that's when I started, like, really thinking about our shit. And then this Dave Ramsey book came up, and we both read it, and I just thought it was, like, the perfect opening to, like, open that conversation and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I probably maybe approached you too strong about it. I think I was like, hey, we got to talk about this. You need to get rid of your credit card.
Yeah. He just told me that, like, obviously we had been talking about the Dave Ramsey book, and if you don't know the Dave Ramsey, like, he tells you a few things, like, you have to have an emergency fund, you have to have a budget and all this stuff. And so we were talking about that already, but we hadn't talked about what is it? Not the sheep in the room.
The elephant.
The elephant in the room. We hadn't talked. I said sheep in the room.
That'd be weird too.
We hadn't talked about the elephant in the room, which was the credit cards. But we had talked about other things, and it was kind of like we were skimming over it. We're like, oh yeah, we want to do emergency fund, and we want to do. We'll talk about budget things maybe on another podcast. This isn't the one, but basically we were talking about money situation and how we were going to treat our money once we got married, and we wanted to do like a joint thing and stuff, which then brought up.
Yeah, I think it's because I don't spend money, right? Like, I not even for myself. I just don't buy shit. I don't know why. I'm a hoarder, or I'd like to spend big.
Yeah, he likes to spend.
And then have a lot, and then spend a lot.
I'm the opposite of that. I like to spend as I get it.
Yeah, I mean, you used to spend what you didn't have.
Yeah.
I had accumulated quite a little piggy bank because I was working at my internship, and
he didn't spend, so.
And I wouldn't spend, yeah, so I would put it all away. And then, we started having these conversations and about, like, putting our finances together and, doing this as a team, investing. And I was like, started thinking about it. I was like, bro, like, I have a lot of money. Like, am I supposed to just, like, trust her with it? And it's not that I didn't trust you. It was more like your financial habits were not great.
Yeah, they weren't.
They weren't great. And I was like, bro, like, no, so we got to talk about this. So I came on strong.
It was a perfect opening.
Yeah.
But he did, when he came to me, and I had to read the part about, like, having a bunch of fucking credit cards is horrible in the book. If you read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But debt is bad, basically. And so I already knew it was bad, and I knew, like, I felt that I was working towards getting it down already. And so whenever he told me, you need to get rid of all your credit cards, I'm like, bruh, I already know that I have a problem because I'm already, like, I had already consolidated this shit.
Yeah, so I was already alone, right?
Yeah, but I was not ready to cut ties with the credit cards. So I got really fucking pissed because I was like, how dare you come to me and tell me to just close my credit cards? Like, this has been, like, a habit that I built for, like, 6 years, and you want to just fucking cut it, like, nip
Cold
it in.
turkey.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, and so I was really upset with him. I'm not gonna lie.
She was upset.
I was like, Dan, I don't think we're getting married. Like it was that.
She was upset, and I told you. I remember telling you, I was like, the number one thing that ends marriages is financials.
Yeah, and I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know that this is gonna work out.
Over credit cards.
It's money, right? At the end of the day, it's money. Like, I felt.
Oh, okay. Because at the time, I was arguing delete your credit cards, and then we're gonna be on a budget.
Yeah, we're gonna have an allowance.
Yeah, that's what it was también.
Yeah, we're gonna have an allowance.
So everything.
So basically, I'm going from my bi-weekly checks of whatever they were at the time,
check,
my full check, to basically like $100 every check and no credit cards, you guys. So imagine trying to like take all of this in and just put yourself into my shoes, like someone who was spending religiously. I think it's actually a problem that I have. Like when I get sad or anxious or something, I'm like, what do I need to buy to make me happy right now? And so obviously at the time I didn't know that. I was just like, bitch, you trying to tell me what to do with my money? What's wrong with you?
I was just taking away all her money.
Yeah.
You were getting paid, and I think we were both just getting paid the highest we've ever been getting paid. Right?
Oh yeah.
We were like, so yeah, she had money coming in, and I was just basically telling her, now you don't. You're still gonna work, you're still gonna work as hard as you work or whatever, but now you're just gonna have like no. And I did come on strong. It was a hard budget, and I was also saying no credit cards, and that fucking allowance was unreasonable. Looking back, $100 every time you get paid, that's nothing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we had to make a change. So obviously in that moment that he told me that, I was pissed, and this is also something we'll talk about at another point, but a big thing for us is we don't go to sleep mad, because it's kind of bad. And that was always a thing. He didn't like me to go to sleep mad, but I think that night I went to sleep mad.
You did?
Yeah. I don't think we solved it that night. We didn't.
Oh, was it?
No, guys, we didn't solve it that night.
This was a big fight, apparently. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We went to sleep mad, and it's crazy because you go to sleep mad, but if you're really mad, you don't even sleep, girl. You're just like tossing and turning, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, how fucking dare he? I was just tossing and turning, just talking shit in my head. And finally, I'm assuming I fell asleep, because after I fell asleep, I woke up in a much better space. Actually, no, I think I woke up and I was still not great, but then I went to work, your normal thing, and I was working, and I think at work is when I was like really just in my thoughts about shit. And I was like, bruh, we want to make money like on top of the salary that we're making, and if I don't make a change, because he was good, he was not bringing any debt into this relationship, he was good, he was just bringing money. And I was doing the opposite of that. So
you were also like, you're a person that processes at your pace.
Yeah, I have a slower pace of processing. It's better, way better now though. But
for me, when I proposed it, I was like, bro, this is like I thought about this. Like I put so much effort into this.
I feel like you put a plan. You did an Excel.
A whole ass fucking presentation. It was an Excel.
Yeah, but my thing
as a team.
So when I was at work, I thought about it, and I honestly don't know what did it, because while it's a core memory, that part isn't a core memory. I don't know what flipped the switch that I was like, okay, I need to do this. So something in me was like, bruh, I gotta make a change.
So you thought like, damn, this is gonna be a problem. Like, I'm supposed to marry this guy and he's telling me this?
Yeah, I just felt like you were trying to control me. Yeah, it just felt kind of controlling in that moment, but I just went back to what he was saying, and it's not like he was going to get more money. It's not like he was going to be doing all these things with money. He was literally like, it was going to be the exact same thing. You're going to get what I get, and all our money is going to one spot. He wasn't proposing anything too crazy besides what I was normally doing, but it's not like he was going to get all his check and I was going to get nothing. It was going to be the same exact thing for us. But in that moment, to me, it was just, you're trying to take my money. I didn't see, whenever you were telling me, I didn't see that for you. Like, I didn't see that you were also going to get your money taken away, not just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just saw you taking my money.
Right.
And I was like, oh, fuck no. I was like, I work for this money. And so, yeah, that night I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is going to be, like, I guess money is a big thing. A big, yeah.
I was in my feels too, because I was like, bro, like, if she can't get with this, like, that's going to be a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how? she never agreed to it, but I fucking loved her. Little mom. We'll see how this works. And I busted my ass. I never spent money on nothing. Didn't buy myself clothes, shoes. And I would just save. And then I invested. And then I started making money right there. And then what, like, expected to, like, be like, oh, yeah, we're doing great. No, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
You're not helping.
Which is didn't we read an Am I the Asshole about that?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So
that must be really hard.
Obviously none of that happened. But because I came back from work that day, and I guess I was already like, we're doing this and I'm doing this, and I had a stack like this big of credit cards, you guys, like this big. And I don't know where you were. You might have been working or something, or at school.
I think I was doing homework on the dining table.
Okay. Well, then I was in the room, and I had already decided when I got home from work and we said hi, I was already like good. I was not upset anymore. Like I had already like processed everything. And I went to our room because we lived with my parents at the time. And I grabbed all my credit cards and some scissors, and I started cutting them all up one by one. And then
in little fucking pieces.
Yeah, but he wasn't there to see it. Like
I wasn't there when she started.
Mm-hmm.
So I went looking for you everywhere, and finally found you in the room, and you were like over the bed, just snipping. I got there, and I just got like the biggest smile. I was just like, "Oh, you're dramatic, but you're cutting up your credit cards."
Yeah, it was like more for me. It was like to show him that I was in it. I obviously didn't have to cut them all up like that, but I was being
Yeah, it was like your gesture
of I'm in this.
The olive branch.
Not the olive branch, but like I want to do this together, you know? And it was like more like, it was very like symbolizing to also like our marriage. Like we're starting our marriage, or we're already in our marriage. I don't know. I think we're
not yet married.
Yeah. And so I was like, if I can't do this, like that probably would have been maybe not it, but we wouldn't have got married very soon after that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like it could have been worked out before, but that would have been really bad if I couldn't concede in that moment.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I just feel because like
that would have been a huge like obstacle or a hindrance in our relationship.
And then I feel like from that, then many things could have spurted out more problems. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad that we did land on the same page. And then I cut them up, and then we burned them outside, which was a mistake.
She cut them up, and I was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? I love you so much." I was just like really excited and really happy because we hadn't talked about it. And I was like, we're going to hash this out. And then I go there, and that was it. Like, that was...
Like, we didn't have to fight about it because I was just like...
Cut them up, and then we burnt them outside. They smelled bad, right?
Yeah, that was a bad idea because they're plastic. So I was like, oh, this smells really bad.
Them, but it was just even more funny. Like,
I think we have a video somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, we
did record it.
We have a video somewhere of me burning them, and we lived happily ever after.
But I think we left out an important part.
Oh shit! What?
In part of my proposal to you, it was, and had you agreed to this, I offered to pay off your loan, your consolidated loan of like 10,000.
Yo, how do we miss that?
Very important. That was part of my proposal, but. You're done with credit cards.
Yeah, so I feel like to anyone that would have been good, but I still want to sleep mad that night. So he actually did have a good little like how do you say?
A good pitch.
A good pitch. Yeah, because I'm sure he knew he couldn't come to me and be like, you have to do this and this and this. So my poor baby was gonna pay off his car.
Yeah, we took out that car together.
Yeah,
that was the first thing
that we did together.
First thing we ever like co-signed on. It was just a Honda Civic, but I liked it. It was an SI.
Oh, baby.
Recently sold it. Very sad about that. Don't worry, I'm gonna get another one. And I think my balance was like 10,000 that was left because I was paying a lot.
Yeah, we're trying to do Dave Ramsey and pay shit off. No debt.
Yeah, and then so I saved up enough money, and that I had enough to pay off my car. But I was like, you know what? offer it as tribute.
How did
over
that
here.
feel?
Had you agreed to that, our budget, gonna pay off our bills, like bills come from our joint, and that bill now included my car.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think part of the terms was to pay it off within a year.
Okay.
Yeah, paid off your loan that she racked up.
My credit card
since
debt.
like 2011.
Yeah, that 10K that I had. He paid it off completely así de un chingazo.
Gone, paid it the fuck off because it was not going away. It was not going to go away.
Yeah, no, I don't think if we wouldn't have done that and we wouldn't have stopped the credit cards, it would have just kept. So for our budget, all our money goes to a joint account, and then we have an emergency fund, which is our savings basically. And then we have an account where all the bills get paid out of. And then we, with those bills include like our eating out, our groceries, gas, like anything that is like a mutual thing. Basically, like both of us are affected by it. Like we have to eat, right? And things like that.
Right.
Those things are coming out of that joint account. But anything like personal, like if I want to buy clothes, if I want to buy shoes, like personal, I want to get Botox, that comes out of my money, and then my hobbies, and then his hobbies comes out of his. So basically, like it's a really good deal because everything else gets paid. Like if we do activities together, say we go bowling, that's part of our joint account.
Right, that's part of our budget. We have a budget for that.
Yeah.
Basically budgeted for everything. So it's a good deal because we're trying to invest, right?
Yeah. Trying to invest with our partner, like y'all are both on the same page, because most likely you both need to be on the same page. It's really hard for only one to be in it, because if they make money off of that investment, you can't expect anything. And I just think it creates a weird balance there. But if you're not married and you're not on that level with your partner where like you've been together, like you see yourself being together long term, I mean, that's your prerogative, right? Like you could each have your own accounts. And I even think even when you get married, it's not a requirement, but I do feel that you need to talk about your finances with your partner. I don't think that finances can be brushed under the rug and then things come up later after you're married. I think that you need to talk about your finances, like what your goals are, if any. Most likely you have goals as like getting a car, getting a house, or even investing, but you have to talk about that. Whether it's no, one of them doesn't want to and the other one does, or whatever. You need to hash it out before you try to take that next step, because trust, that next step is going to be really fucking hard if you don't talk about the things.
Yeah, I think it'd be healthy to talk about, and even if you don't practice like a budget with your partner, or if you're single, you should still budget it. Like I think budgeting is just good. Like you need to know where your money is going, because if you don't know, then you don't control it. Yeah,
you're like, where did all my check go?
Yeah.
Personally, don't think that a relationship can handle that stress of like, how do I say? Not even just investing, just like if one of you has a different view on how you guys should be spending that money or doing what you should be doing with that money, if y'all are completely on different wavelengths, it's going to be really, really, really hard to be better in the relationship. Even in other aspects, because money affects so many fucking things. Just like traveling. Like if you want to travel with your partner, like who's going to pay for the hotel? You know what I mean? Like it comes with like...
It always comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always going to come up.
But I think when it comes to credit cards, our advice about credit cards is that you should get one because you want to build your credit, but only spend what you're going to pay back that month. So basically, if you spend $1,000, pay that off that same month. You like to pay the statement balance on your credit cards? I do. Yeah. I like to pay as much as I can, even if it's past the statement balance, just because I feel better about it. The thing they always say is just pay your statement balance off every month. You'll be good, because that means that you are spending what you can pay. Like you're literally paying off your credit card. It's like you're using a debit card in a way.
Right. You should not spend what you do not have.
Yeah, because then that's when those balances start accruing little by little, but they're going to get high up there. I mean, there's people who have like a shit ton of credit card debt.
Yeah. And then obviously there's exceptions, like if it's a big purchase because you have to or something. Like, I don't know, you bought a laptop because you had to.
Yeah.
Then,
I feel like it is there's times when maybe we didn't have a lot of money that we had to use a credit card
mm-hmm.
for things that were needed.
Up, your car breaks down, like, and then you need emergency money because that was not a planned expense.
Yeah, and it's really hard whenever you can't get above water, basically. So if you're living above your means, basically, and you have no money saved up, and then like anything like that comes up, you get sick and say you don't have health insurance, you things like that, we know that shit comes up because we've been there. But credit cards will only put you deeper into it. So say you've already paid for your car to get fixed or whatever, and now you can't afford to pay back this credit card like immediately. Just try to pay it off as soon as possible. Do not do the minimum payment, because the minimum payment will not get you anywhere.
Right, yeah, no. And that's just for like basic credit card usage. Now when you're getting like more advanced and you want to actually build your credit, my tip, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, my tip would be to use your credit card as you would your debit card, you know, for everyday purchases, and then pay off your statement balance all the time. Don't spend what you don't have. If you spend $1,000 in a month, then you better make in a month or more.
Obviously, this is specifically for credit cards, but it has to do with, recommend that you never get those payday loans. I know title loans, all of those, they're horrible deals, you guys. Horrible deals.
Yeah, just throwing away money. Like, their fees are ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're freaking, what are they, the loan sharks?
Yeah, they are loan sharks.
They are our modern day loan
take
sharks.
Your fucking car.
Yeah, so if you can avoid those places, I know sometimes it gets to be like too much, and I don't know, things happen sometimes, but always try to keep that type of debt to a zero, not even a minimum. Just try to avoid those types of loans and having a balance on your credit cards, because if you don't read the fine print, you guys, that APR is like 23, 20 fucking 26%.
It's basically the maximum allowed for those kinds of loans.
But I was talking about credit cards.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They usually range.
Yeah, they usually range like 24 or 20.
Yeah. So if you've maxed a credit card out, what is that? So say it's $1,000, is that $23 each month? If it's 23%?
It would be like $230 a year divided by 12.
Okay.
So a number.
I think 23.
$23?
Yeah.
Oh, the payment.
No, the interest, because it's 23%.
Oh, okay.
So 23 times.
It's not exactly 23, because that would be divided by 10.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay.
Months.
I was thinking that. Okay, yeah. So it would be that $230. Right? That's what you said? Something, a number. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that it's a lot of fucking interest. And as your balance goes up, say it's not $1,000 anymore, it's higher than that, then you're multiplying that by the APR, and it gets to be crazy. And even say you're just doing the minimum payment, you're no longer bringing that balance down. So you're just literally you're just paying the interest at that point.
Yeah, the rule is to never pay interest.
Yeah.
Do not pay interest.
Yeah, that's the rule, because you're trying to use their benefits by not fucking yourself.
Yeah, like if you want to really build your credit, like I said, use it as you would every day, as if it was your debit card, for gas, for food, for whatever, and then just pay off the statement balance every month.
Yes.
Do not miss that. That'll boost your fucking credit, I swear.
Yeah.
But I'm not a financial advisor.
Yeah, and my credit score never got low. I know his did because of that payment that you missed. Mm-hmm. But our credit scores right now have been the healthiest ever. We're not going to mention it, but
like
they're
over 800.
Shut up. You can't even have over 800. No?
Yes.
Oh, I thought 800 was the max. Oh, it's 900, no? 900 is a perfect credit score? Or 850?
I think it's 850. 850.
So the highest credit score is 850, you guys. So you want to try to get up there. And that's obviously like credit a lot of people make it look like it's evil, and I don't think so. I think sometimes, and you need it. For example, if you're gonna buy a house, who's gonna buy a house cash? Like, houses are freaking expensive.
You need credit, yeah.
And you need credit, you guys.
Like, it'll work for you or it'll work against you. It's up to you.
And obviously, we didn't make the rules of society and economy, or anything. So credit score, literally, it is what it is, and we have to have it. If we didn't have to have it, I don't know what we were doing, hunters and gatherers, or what the fuck. I don't fucking know. But basically, we need it to do a lot of things, and so why not get ahead of it while you can? So all you children, I don't think any children, I mean 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
If you're watching and you haven't gotten started on your journey, if you cannot afford to have a credit card, I feel like you shouldn't even have one right now until you get a job. If you're a youngin, like if you don't have a job and you're not bringing in money, don't even get a credit card right now, because you won't be able to afford the payment.
No business.
Yeah.
I also think it's a amplifier. So if you're bad with money, it'll amplify that.
Oh yeah.
And if you're good with money, it'll amplify that. So if you're good with money, if you're financially disciplined and you get a credit card, you get it to work for you, and it'll just open your opportunities. And you don't have to have an 800 score or above. Once you get to like mid 700s, you can get pretty much approved for any.
Yeah.
Obviously within limits of your salary.
Yeah. Obviously, that also comes with like other loans, like car loans and a house loan. You don't want to live above your means when it comes to that either, because you won't be able to do anything with your life. You're just stuck in those.
Making a payment. Yeah. Like, when are you going to go on a trip or something?
Yeah. Your debt that you have, including, credit card should not be a debt. Credit card should be a monthly transaction that you do. But actual debt that you have, you should be able to pay that and have a shit ton left for normal day-to-day activities. And so, yeah, just a few tips. We have more financial tips, but this was supposed to be just about credit cards, so I think we can end it there, right? Do you have anything else on credit cards?
I think we went all over the place, but
yeah,
it was necessary.
Yeah, I think it was necessary to get us to how credit cards can fuck you over, because did they fuck me over or did I fuck them over? I don't fucking know.
Oh, they fucking took you. They took all your interest.
They're like, come here, girl.
They loved her.
25%? Say less. 25% off? Forever 21? All the credit cards, girl, I had them.
You should only have one credit card, maybe two tops.
Yeah.
If you're an investor, you maybe have like 10. But, good debt, bad debt.
Yeah.
Not getting into it today.
Yeah. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I think that is it. So let us know down below if you have any questions about credit cards. Maybe we can answer. I mean, since we've been there, done that.
Credit card rewards.
Yeah. And we're not financial advisors. And also, let us know if you've been there, because I can relate. I've been there. He's been there. You were there very little, but you were there also. Not being able to pay your credit card.
Tell me what you think about my shirt. I'm trying to look more mamon. I want to look more mamon. How? Comment down below. Tell me what I can do better to look more mamon.
If you know, you know. We had a lovely comment.
Oh, but I also really just want to buy a bunch of random shirts and just wear podcast.
Yeah, I told them to buy stuff, like different tops.
And that'd be like my excuse to buy clothes, because every 3 years.
More than that. But yeah, so we are los mamones. We're not los first gen anymore.
Hey.
I don't understand that comment, but it was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. And I think that's all for today, huh?
I think so.
Okay, briefly, how did you feel with this?
Honestly, I feel like I got a light garden buzz. Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, I was laughing at you, and I was like, because of that. Yeah. What the hell?
I feel like chill.
I'm really tired. It could also be all that caffeine I had.
No, I'm tired too. It must be this.
Right?
yeah, I feel like this brought me a little bit like too low. So I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna do this next time. I like to be like hyped.
Right.
But it was
Red Bull.
no, like
Okay.
the high-o. I like the high-os.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are good.
So yeah, but that is it for this video. And again, shout out to our giveaway winner, Miss Lace 2009.
Shout out Miss Lace 2009. Comment down below and tell us what 2009 is for. We want to know. Was it like a concert you went to?
Oh yeah, tell us.
I
Yeah,
think
we'll see.
we're gonna try and get Joe Rogan on our podcast.
Oh my gosh, shut up. I would cry. Joe Rogan for president.
We're gonna
Train by day.
We're gonna call
Joe Rogan by night.
Is it Train by Day?
Yeah. But if you don't watch Joe Rogan's podcast, what are you doing with your life? And it's including you because you're not.
I'm trying to live life. I don't got time in the day.
Bruh, you act like I listen to it after hours.
Oh yeah, I'm watching like Rick and Morty or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. This is
Pretty-
more for your brain than Rick and Morty.
I
But
don't know.
okay, we've gone on too long.
Yeah, true,
Okay,
true,
guys, we will see you on the next one. Comment down below what y'all thought and subscribe if you haven't. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.